Roger that.
Maintain your altitude of 15,000 feet.
2 miles northeast. Turn left at 90.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's good to be here. No, I haven't been on in a while, so I thought I'd just pop in and do some stuff with War Thunder. It's not like I haven't been playing, but I just haven't been making a whole lot of content these days with a busy life. So just thought I'd come in and, with the new patch, kind of see what's going on with the new missiles. Give some advice for the radar versus heat seekers. There's a lot of differences in usefulness for radar, and one of the things I like to do is to kind of start off with radar at high altitude, and as you get lower on the deck, switch over to heat seekers, or if you're at a really, having a hard time getting that radar lock, that's when you want to switch over. Usually that's on a deck, or if you're getting close and just don't have room to maneuver, There's many circumstances where heat seekers could be more useful, but as a general rule, what I'm trying to do is lock on radar using radar at higher altitudes, because you're able to do head-ons with these like you can't with heat seekers. Heat seekers are rear-facing, or in the cases of the 9Js, you can get a side angle on them and able to get those off, but with the radar it seems to work best with a straighter angle, or if you're at high altitude. So what I like to do starting off the match is kind of just go off to the angle about 20 degrees, keep my speed up, because when your missiles come off the rail, they're already going to have the speed of your vehicle. Your plane is going to automatically have that speed attached to it, and your missile is going to fire off that much faster. So what I try to do is keep my speed, and as you see here, I'm going pretty quick. I'm still using radar, even though I'm getting down toward the deck, but I was able to maintain that lock, so I just went for that. Would have been a good candidate to switch if started losing lock, though. You'll notice that when you start getting on the deck, you'll lose that lock a lot more. It must be ground interference that the War Thunder engine is mimicking. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a way that you can notch in War Thunder right now. You should be able to do some other things though, like hitting the deck. Those types of tactics seem to work to help break locks more than an actual notch that you would see in a real combat situation. But I have not tested it thoroughly enough to validate this theory, so don't take my word on it right now. You might want to simulate that yourself. So there's a couple things that I like to do, and like I said before, I like to, when I get on the deck, switch over to more of the sidewinders, or not the sidewinders, but the heat seekers versus the radar based, and that's not always true, but it could be a lot of times true. To be more effective, of course you have to be behind your target more with heat seekers, so that's one of the things I like to try to do. But at the beginning of the match, I try to get to about 4,000 kilometers. I don't really want to go much higher than that. You certainly don't ever want to go vertical from that altitude, because you are in very thin air at that point and very susceptible to getting a missile up your rear. So I try to stay under that. Also, when I launch those radar against enemies, I try to elevate my missile up, especially if they're a little bit higher than me already, to help get it in that thinner air and hopefully get a little bit more out of that missile. So 2 keys there: stay high, or not stay high, but stay fast. Elevate your missile high. And once you have gotten a solid radar lock on and have fired, feel free to angle off and even dive away to help against any oncoming missiles that may be coming to you. And these tactics are similar to BBR engagements you'll see in like DCS or in real combat. So it's getting more true to air-to-air missiles with the radar. It does add a different dynamic when you are able to switch between the radar and the heat seekers, so that's the interesting part that I like. I do think that maybe they went a little too far this early in giving the Phantoms in particular 8 missiles for each radar, for the heat seekers. I think that's just a little too much for the meta. However, I happen to have a Phantom, so I'm not going to complain. At least it's a little bit fun for me to experiment and try the different tactics with this. So, I'm still learning, making some mistakes here. Earlier, I still make mistakes with my heat seekers and probably firing them too much when my target is chasing a friendly. You might have seen earlier that one of my missiles tried to veer off toward my friendly. Luckily, he was able to dodge. I'm not sure if he's seen my missile or if he was just dodging the opponent, but that's always something to be wary about when you're using missiles in general, is the target switching. And it can happen on radar as well. It's just not as often I've seen as it is with heat seekers. So here I'm still using radar because I'm able to get that lock. It's even though we're close to the deck, but it seems to be easier to get a lock on somebody when they're a little bit higher than you, or a lot higher than you, and so that the ground does not give you interference. But when you get your target is lower than you, that's when more often you need to switch back to heat seekers and be behind the target. So that's really the advice I can give you for now. I'm going to keep working on this, keep experimenting and see what's working for me. But as of now, this is all I have. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.